Amazing, isn't it, how far we've come and how much we've changed. From horse and buggy to space-age telecommunications. And of course, as we look over the horizon to the year 2000, what we see is more changes, more challenges. In an era of retrenchment with 1.5 million unemployed, the ties that bind this many-cultured land are painfully stretched. The Salvation Army, binding the wounds, faces a host of vital questions about its delivery of social services. But we have answers too, thanks in part to the Future of Caring, a strategic plan from the Social Services Council of the Salvation Army. The report is a collective effort by officers in social services, aided by input from a national survey of nearly 200 Army officers, staff, volunteers, government sponsors, and other agencies. The Future of Caring charts a path for health care and social services, starting with an analysis of external factors or key trends in Canadian society. Take aging. As Canadians on the average grow older, the demand for health care and social services is increasing, while the working population which pays the bills is shrinking. One result is a shift away from expensive residential and hospital care toward independence programs which keep seniors at home. Or consider AIDS. We care deeply about the men and women who are dying, but let's face it, medically and politically, the Salvation Army has been on the periphery of the AIDS crisis. However, today, because of our experience in palliative care and our connections in countries which are being decimated by AIDS, there's potential for us to play a major role in Canada. In corrections, as lawmakers respond to much publicized acts of violence, public security is the priority. Some politicians, like the public, prefer punishment to rehabilitation. But is this an adequate response to violent crime? The Salvation Army has always reached out to people who are imprisoned, homeless, abused, addicted, and mentally disadvantaged. We support people and families in crisis. But today, the ground is shifting. Clients are younger with changing attitudes and needs. Studies show that non-residential treatment can be less costly and just as effective as a typical residential program. Meanwhile, governments demand that addiction education and treatment programs be more professional and more cost-effective. Early intervention and non-residential programs are the new reality. It's no news that broken families are more common than ever. And in urban areas, single-parent families are practically the norm. But what's new is a phenomenal growth in demand for shelters for women and children who have often been physically or sexually abused. Can the Salvation Army protect and promote the family, but at the same time help women to escape abusive relationships? Like so many of the new questions, this one challenges the Army's Christian value system, as well as its social service delivery. The new reality, chronic poverty, is really quite old, and today's governments, preoccupied by huge deficits, are also crying poverty. In social services, this translates into tight budgets. The expectation is that we will deliver more for less. And as the Red Shield appeal struggles to keep pace with mushrooming demand, less is what we're getting. The dollar crunch is also reflected in more competition from other agencies and, increasingly, the private sector. All these external challenges force us to look hard internally for answers. For example, we're looking at an overhaul of training. Complex changes in social services require dedicated officers who are well educated in their field. Care and resources must also be devoted to volunteer recruitment and motivation. To keep social services on track, management techniques and information systems have to catch up to the 90s. To remain on the crest of the wave of changes in social services, we have to compile and analyze data and review research. Meanwhile, we're already implementing processes for total quality management and program review. Financial management is also vital. Governments, which contribute most of the $500 million which the Army spends annually on health care and social services, are demanding more and better financial and program information. To comply and simply to control expenditures, a fully computerized accounting system based on cost and profit principles is recommended. Strengths and weaknesses, threats and opportunities. The report, with nearly 50 recommendations, takes them all on. It applauds the integration of social services with divisional administration throughout Canada and Bermuda. It looks forward to a day when every Salvationist is both an evangelist and a caregiver. The Social Services Strategic Plan is a product of the energy and experience of a great many people, including the stakeholders who responded to the national survey. This community of concern must also be fully committed to its implementation. The future of caring is about making critical choices, managing our destiny, and about transitions from our illustrious past to a challenging future.